There we go. Can you hear me now? Um, and how are my levels? It looks like you should be able to hear me okay. Is it way too loud? Let me dial it back a little bit. Yeah, lots of talking, not really saying much. Okay, so it looks like everything is fine. So again, yeah. So hi, I'm Joshua. Today is December 11th, 2016. Today I'm working on Delver. Delver is a procedural FPS dungeon crawler roguelike thing. It's a passion project. There's a team of two of us working on it, and we work on it in our free time. We've been fortunate enough to be supported by folks like you, and we got greenlit. So if you want to support us, you can buy it on Steam, or you can buy it on doublegame.com. There's a humble widget. If you scroll down, you can do that if you want DRM-free options. If you'd rather wait for us to release the game, that's also totally fine. If you're not comfortable with early access, we will be releasing sometime next year. And what you're watching right now is my regular Sunday stream, which is a push towards getting this thing done, getting it shipped. So the stream is kind of me working on the game, talking about things that interest me. For myself, on the project, I am the art guy. I do all the 2D, 3D arts, UI. Basically, if it's visual, I had a hand in making it, or probably did make it. Also, the other half of Delver is Chad. He does the majority of the programming and business and whatever else needs to be done. We're a small team. We have no budget. We wear a lot of hats. Let me see. So there's a few folks in chats talking, so it sounds like my audio issues are straightened out, which is cool. Levels seem okay. Hey Chris, hey Nickman, hey Squambles McFlanagan, hey Heembond, hey Kirby. Looks like we got some folks in here, so which is really cool. So generally after my intro, I kind of jump into, was it Bitly? Hey Bitly. Yeah, so I jump into just going to a command prompt, and let's go to our repository, and we'll just do a git log. So generally I do I can pull up my cheat sheet real quick, even though you're watching me. I just have it stashed in a secret gist. Here we go. Don't you dare do that, Windows. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare. Okay, I'm going to close you and hope you don't restart me now. So let's copy that. And then let's go to our command prompt. Oh, hey, Chad. Chad is here. So wow, check this out. That is 1 week's worth of commits. Let me go ahead and clear that out. So for those of you who might have noticed, I am not in my office today. I am back in the Midwest. I am visiting with family, which is why my stream started a little bit late today. For those of you who know, I have a pretty young son, and his grandparents wanted to see him. But also, my sister recently had her first child. So we're back visiting with them, and as things go, you get tied up with family and you can't sneak away. So I'll probably do an hour today, just to kind of go over stuff. So Squambles McFlanagan said, just want to let you know, I love the game and have been playing since before the stream. I remember the old magic effects were hilarious. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to do, again, I'm going to do repos, GitHub, Delver, and I'm going to do a git log. This is cool, right? This basically shows all the commits that have gone into the source code since the last time I streamed a week ago. And so I did some tweaking of the Ice and Paralyze wand, some magic missile sprite work, some wand effects. So I think that was for the Paralyze wand. So Chad added this thing that's really cool. It's called a refresh data graphics option. So this is really handy for me developing the game, but it's also really handy for modders. You could now hit a button and it will refresh all of the JSON content. So if you make a change to an item, you can refresh it and then spawn a new one in, and the changes will be applied, or monsters or whatever thing you're making. So basically anything you can spawn in the debug menu it will refresh and give you the latest on that, which is really cool. Looks like Chad has been really busy. Check this out. Look at all this stuff that's gone in since last week. So Chad fixed the druid jumping on the player's head and bats getting stuck on the player, which is really, really welcome. It's nice to not have to deal with stuff like that. It was getting a little obnoxious. It looks like Chad fixed some Z fighting on decals, and they're also visible from much further away. So improved decal support is really cool. Because as you mess up the environment, it's really cool to see your effects and have them render correctly. So we had a bug around the gamepads not honoring look inversion in the settings, and that should be fixed, which is cool. So Chad kind of did some touching up of there's a status effect now for poison. So if you can poison monsters, and the monsters can poison you, and you'll emit a small bubble every so often, and then whenever you take damage, you emit a burst of bubbles, and he's kind of repositioning those. So because when you're poisoned, it was kind of obscuring your vision, so we're trying to position them so they're not so obstructive, but they're still there, so you can kind of, you obviously will observe that you've been poisoned from various cues we're giving you. So Chad also hooked up the torches in Delver now support multiple frame animations. Previously, they would just pick a frame at random. Now torches can either pick a random frame or they can loop. So I had a really cool torch animation for the ruins area, and I got that in. So this is really cool, but this is not going to land for this update. Chad is working on a dynamic fire system where you can start fires and they will spread a bit, which is really cool. It's going to be a lot of work, so he's getting started on it early because right now for this update, pretty much all the work is on me. And that's just me tying off some of this wand art, which is probably what we're going to be doing today. So me fixing torch properties. So the torch needed to have its Y offset updated, need to have its particles fixed. Sometimes we try to be smart about preventing overdraw on sprites with alpha, so we clip away the transparent parts. But if the positioning of that wasn't 100% in, I'm not sure if Chad shorted it up yet, but so if the sprite wasn't exactly centered, so if there was, if it was like leaning to one side versus the other, when we chop away the transparent parts, the stuff would jitter around. So I kind of worked around that by making sure that the torch animation was the same width on the either side of the midpoint, and that was just kind of done by me adding little particle effects just to make it always kind of symmetric as far as width goes. So I tweaked the poison status effect. Previously we had the bubbles with the holes in it, but I went with a bubble that was filled, made it a little bit smaller, added a couple variations. I also made it a brighter green. I also added, a few streams ago, we refactored some of the code to have this colors static object that we can pull from. So I updated the colors to agree with that. So all the poison effects on weapons, on monsters, on sprites should all be the same color, which is nice. And then I did the same thing for the missile wand, made sure the colors agree. Let me see. So Chad fixed a transform bug around multiple attachments to entities over time. So that's cool. I guess I hadn't personally observed that, but it might be. So any entity can have attachments, and those can be nested pretty deep. So I'm glad he's shoring that up. So more work on the possible fire system, spreads to breakables, which is very cool. I'm really excited to check this out. And since Chad is here in chat, I might have him walk me through it. Yeah, Chris. This has been a very busy week. We've been pushing to get this darn update out. We are behind our schedule, and like weeks before we missed our deadline, I was looking like we weren't going to hit it. And I've been trying to be honest as I can. I mean, I'm 100% honest here on the stream with what we're working on, what we're working towards, and then the things we cut, and then why we're pushing things back. Small refactor for animated sprite. Let me see. Oh, cool. Yeah. So there was this bug. So if you grouped a set of entities in the editor and then you ungrouped them, sometimes they would jump around visually. So it looks like Chad has fixed that, which is really cool. So Chad tweaked the paralyzed wand hit roll effect. That's cool. Randomizing monster attack timers. That's nice. Looks like rendering all entities with L equal depth test. So more work on helping with that Z fighting stuff. So more work on the dynamic fire system, which is really cool. Fire entities spawn in particles now. Corpses keep burning. Yeah, when I saw this commit, I was pretty happy that corpses keep burning. That's fun. So yeah, Chad's been really plugging away at this new fire system. So fire hurting and spreading on different timers. Added a test level. Ooh, so let's fire up the test level as soon as I'm going through all these changes. Finishing up fire system. Fire damage has a chance of starting mobs on fire. Fix for sounds playing after fire has gone out. Player calls on status. Okay, so there's so far as status effects, there's a hook called on begin status effect. Cool. That's very important. That it works the same way for mobs as for players. I guess I messed that up. That's my bad. Sorry, Chad. So it looks like Chad fixed breakables not taking damage on fire. Some code cleanup stuff. Explosions no longer attach damage status effects to things out of range. That's excellent. Thanks for adding that, Chad. I guess that's something we overlooked. Fixed fire attachment offset for player. So I guess the players can now be set on fire, which is cool. Fire scrolls start things on fire instead of killing them outright. Well, that's cool. That makes again, this is I think the next. So we were wanting to add particle effects and variation for the scrolls also, but that got pushed back to next update. And then fire damage can start on breakables now. So that's really cool. Let's just go ahead and take a peek at what that stuff looks like. So I'm really excited to see this fire system. I have not taken a look at it before now. Sorry, that was a lot of talking. I apologize, folks. We will get to some actual dev work here in just a little bit. Yeah, let's do that, and let's run the editor, and let's fire up Chad's tester room and see what that looks like. Hey, Guy. Thank you for stopping by. Cool, Chad. Thanks. Yeah, I was assuming it's somewhere in there. I was going to dig around, but that helps. Okay, so file open. And let's go to Alt-Tab. And Dungeoneer, assets, levels, test. And he's saying it's firespreading.bin. Yes. So again, just a heads up that again, this is a work in progress. I have not done an art pass on it yet, so it will change a little bit, and it'll probably still even change behavior-wise a little bit too. Oh man, that's great. Oh, let me restart so I can watch what happens with these guys. Maybe. So if they walk through it, do they catch on fire, or how does that work? I really like what it's doing with the breakables over here. How it's jumping to nearby. Very cool. So it looks like the initial fires last a long time, or they don't go out. I'm not quite sure. Oh man, that looks like a lot of fun. That might be a little overpowered, but again, this is a cool system. I'm glad that we're getting it going. Should the fire actually damage potions or not? I'm kind of curious about that. What folks think. But that's awesome. I really like how this is developing. Can I kite people into it? Or is he on fire? What's he? Yep. So will the fire go? Oh, the fire does go out when he hops in water. That's excellent. So if I step in the fire, let me test that out up here. So if I stand in the, so it looks like, oh, I am burning. Can I set them on fire if I'm burning? That's really cool. Yeah, this is really cool work, Chad. This is awesome. I wonder if it should also spread out a little bit, like it generates smaller ones next to it, like maybe at like half. So I'm assuming this has some sort of lifetime attached to it. So maybe if it spawns ones next to it with only half the remaining lifetime or something like that, just so we could get a little fire propagation, but like something that would definitely like recurse or it would hit the I don't know, just throwing stuff out there. But yeah, no, this is definitely cool. Like. It's nice that we can have another system for the players to kind of play around with. But that's for next update. I just want to give you guys a small taste of how that's going to go. I need to finish up the wands. I need to finish up that stuff so we can ship this update to you guys and gals and other folks, and you can give us feedback and we can improve that while working on new stuff. So let me go ahead and I know I should somewhere up here I have. I'm going to GitHub. And Delver. Issues. And then milestones. And then the November update, which is late. It looks like there's only one task left. And there are 2 subtasks left that I need to get done. So maybe I can try to tie them off today. I think that was purely coincidence. I think, Chris, they were chasing me. I think the enemies are pretty self-destructive. They will tirelessly chase the player. Yeah, they chase the player until they hit a certain threshold of health, and then they run away from the player. I mean, it's good that you think they're smarter than they are. So, the Fire Wand, I want to get the spell art done, and the Paralyze Wand, I want to review the Explosion art. I think, if I remember correctly, it's not really doing a lot. Maybe I want to spruce that up just a tiny little bit. So let me just take a look and see what this is actually doing. Uh-oh, there's a second cut again in the stream. Okay, so let's see what the Paralyzed Wand explosion effect looks like. 5. Then. Yeah, I need to spice that up somehow. I think it just plays a single frame at the end. Let's take a look at the JSON and see what it's doing. So this is the Paralyzed Wand, and the explosion, yeah, it just does explosion start text, in-text 13 and 14. Let me see. What can I do that's not a lot of work? So, this is a magic missile, which has a magic missile projectile, which is a magic missile projectile object, which has an explosion, which I think this is actually a proper explosion object. So if you look at magic missile projectile, so the explosion is a proper explosion, which should get serialized. I'm wondering if I could fancy it up by just attaching something to the explosion. Or let me see what, I mean, there's other things I can do. Because with the explosion, I can do other, let me look at this, let me first investigate some of the properties of the explosion to see what I can do. Because I know we can do a dust ring and we can do make flyaways. So if I enable make flyaways, let's go to inherit the flyaways from the the fiery explosion, but we can see what it looks like, and then we can play with it from there. So, comma make fly. Let me just copy that property so I don't worry about misspelling it. It's on explosion. Make flyaways, and this is true. Yeah. I think I'm fairly confident Chad has a brother. Yeah, B Cuttigan. It almost kind of reminds me in how Gears of War there was a Carmine, a B Carmine, and a C Carmine. So make flyaways. Let's just see how that behaves. Squambles McFlanagan says, does Delver have a subreddit? It might. I have no idea. I don't think Chad or I really monitor. Well, Chad might. I can't speak for Chad. I pay no attention to Reddit whatsoever. So I am not involved in that. I only have so much time in the day, and yeah. So that might be okay to repurpose. I'm trying to think what I can do with that. Maybe if I expose some of those properties, I can actually. Or is that too much? Let me just try. So this is the candle particle emitter. Can I think particle emitters do have a lifetime? Let me play around with the particle emitter here in the editor. Yeah, for me the Steam forum is the kind of de facto place I go to check on the community and see what folks are up to, what they're talking about. I'm sure Delver exists in other places. I just I don't have time to monitor the entire internet. Perfect. Actually, let me try to get this to a more reasonable size because I have chat pinned on the side here, so I'll try to make a little bit of room for it. There we go. So does the emitter have a lifetime? I'm trying to think of how this might work. Or even if it doesn't have a lifetime, the explosion certainly has a lifetime, so I think the explosion might clean up the it might clean up the attached afterwards. If otherwise, let's just try. Let's go to entity items.dat. Let's go to entities.dat and let's look for puff. And I'm just going to copy this particle effect. And then I'm going to have for the paralyze wand, its explosion, I'm pretty sure I can do attached. And that is an array. And the only item in this array should be a particle emitter. Let's see if this works. I mean, in theory, it ought to work. I think there's nothing special about the explosion. It's just an entity. Entities are allowed to have attached items. So let's save it and run. Paralyze wand, okay, 5. Trying to see, I don't think it's actually behaving like I thought it would. So let's test this out. If I go into here, and then I can and if I get rid of this property and save it and go back to here, I should be able to, if I hit K and then I hit the refresh button, it should refresh all of that data. Then hit K and ones and paralyze, and now they shouldn't have flyaways. Yeah, okay, cool. So that the refresh stuff is working as expected, but my attached, the thing I have attached to the explosion is not doing what I thought it ought. Let me see. It is a, yeah, just a list of entities. Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not doing that, so that's probably not a good way to do it. Michael, no Ludum Dare. Actually, this weekend I'm visiting family, so I've traveled back to the Midwest of the United States, and this is going to be a short stream because I am spending time with family, and my son gets to meet his aunts and uncles and grandparents, and it's really exciting. And I have a new nephew to visit with too. I thought I'd just take an hour out of my time real quick, talk to you folks, let you know that the update is super close, that the update is still not shipping because of me, and I have a couple pieces of art to finish for it. I guess I got to talk about art a little bit too. Chris mentioned Saint 11, and I looked at one of his tutorials, and actually it kind of inspired me to try to do something similar for the fire wand. So I don't want to rip it off, but I'm definitely inspired by it. So let me if I import tiled animation, and let's go to the correct directory here. Particles 32 by 32. He had this really cool fire orb. I thought I could take some inspiration from. So this is frame or index 88 through 95. So base tile is 88, length is 8, and let me make sure you guys can actually see the animated part of this. Yeah, no, he's definitely a really good pixel artist, and also he's a pretty decent programmer as well, from what I can understand. Yeah, so I want, this is kind of this is going to be the this is going to be the projectile for the fire wand, and this is still a very rough version of it. But I think it kind of communicates what I want it to do. So that way, when you lob a fireball, it kind of looks better than it does right now. Yeah, so I was working on the paralyze wand, trying to figure out how to spruce up the explosion. The explosions also should make puffs, right? Let me see. Yeah, so it should create a bunch of these. Pretty sure. Yeah, because if I were to, see, if I relaunch Delver, and click there, play. Cool, thanks, Nickman. Yeah, I'm glad it reads like a fireball. I definitely want to clean it up. I like the kind of the way the flames rolled over the surface. I already have one, never mind. So with this, you can lob fireballs, and they explode, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure what's with the messed up graphic there. That's very strange. Yeah, the explosion graphic is all messed up now. I'm not sure why. Weird. Did I break? I don't think I have any changes. Do I just? Let me just undo my change to this wand, because it's not doing what I want it to do anyways. Let me try running this again. So that was fine. Yeah, no, the explosions are messed up now. Not quite sure why. I know there was an issue with setting the Atlas. So I think I was newing this up, and I think Chad may have changed that. Let me see, Atlas. So explode should... So... Fire wand? So it uses an Atlas here, and... So Hawaii Beach says, yo, question, how do you unlock the FPS in-game, change FPS limit? I don't think you can. I think it's just, I think it is what it is. Are you having FPS issues? Let me see. Yeah, so I think I was newing this up. Let me explosion. Actually, let me just go to Git and see if I can look at the history of that file. Engineer assets. Wait, no. Engineer source entities explosion history. Yeah, it looks like looks like things haven't really changed. Let me just try tweaking what I think is the issue. So particle P. Instead of this, I'm just going to new up a particle here and see if that actually. Because I bet you this fixes it, and I bet you the reason why is the cache pool, for some odd reason, is not correctly resetting the sprite atlas where it comes from. Hawaii Beach is now contributing to a wiki dedicated for fixing games. It's going to add stuff I know about the game. Interesting. Yeah, no, I think the FPS is locked at what it is. I'm not sure. That'd be a question better for Chad to answer if he knows. There is a field if the game goes over 120 frames for people using high refresh. I'm not sure what you mean. There's a field. Wands fire. Yeah. So, yeah, that's definitely the issue. So what's happening is for a lot of our particles, we create a lot of them. As you notice, like for example, all these little fireflies around us, these bugs here are particles. Since we create a lot of them, it's better to not constantly be creating new ones, but to have a big pool of them to work with. And these are called pools. And it looks like on the particle cache pool, or a pooling object, we're not correctly resetting the atlas. So for this to work, I have to new up this one particle for the explosion, which isn't great. But maybe Chad can fix. But I'll go ahead and leave it like this since it's broken otherwise. Yeah, I'm not sure how concerned I'm not particularly worried about FPS at this point in time. I mean, our game runs very smoothly. I mean, if you're having performance issues, please let us know. Okay. Okay, so let me catch my train of thought. Um, so I was doing that because it spawns in a bunch of these secondary particles. Is that turned off? Particle count. Is that turned off for paralyzed ones? Is that what's going on? Items.dat. Fire one explosion. Scale, Fulbright. Particle count 5. So if I made this particle count, oh, it's particle. This is the fire wand. If I look at the paralyze wand, explosion, particle count 0. That's interesting. Maybe it shouldn't be 0, but maybe I should change what the particles look like. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. So they're saying that they're just wearing it's just a flag to indicate if the game supports 120 FPS. Yeah, to me that's not important right now. Yeah, again, Chad would probably better be able to answer FPS limits and stuff like that. Is 120 FPS actually something people care about? That still looks correct. Okay. So that's doing that. Hey Tyreek, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, no, I have a 120 hertz monitor myself, but I mean, I don't. There's no real reason for me to run it that fast. It doesn't. I mean, my eyeballs are old, so I can't really see that much of a difference. That's strange, weird. That's a weird artificial flag for people to want. Okay. Okay, so those particles aren't the same particles I thought. There's the dust ring. There are the delving goes good. The delving's going to be abbreviated today. I'm just trying to get stuff. So I'm visiting with family right now, but I'm trying to get stuff done for our November update. For our November update we're getting close, but it's December, so that's not great. But yeah, so we have just one task with 2 subtasks on it, and it's just for me finishing up this wand stuff. So either I need to finish it up or just live with the current state it's in. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Chris. I have a hard time noticing anything above 60. But again, like, I'm older. Like, my eyeballs just, I mean, yeah, I can't tell the difference. I think what's more important is how the delay between player input and the actual response time. Yeah. So let me take a look and see why the fire explosion looks a little bit different. Or is it, no, it just does a dust ring and then it does the flyaways, and that's all it really does. um, let me see. Okay, yeah, no, Hawaii Beach. I'll take a look at the link. Probably not right here on the stream, but I will take a look sometime. So how to improve the? I just want to do some simple particle effects and get it done. So the magic missile has an explosion. The explosion creates these. I mean, it might be okay just the way I've done it now. Yeah, that's probably okay. Let me just knock that down a little bit and call it good. So particle count, let's just knock it down to, say, 6. Save. Don't want that just yet. So let's check these in separately. So this is just tweaking, paralyze, wand, explosion. Commit. Fixing issue with explosion. Particle Atlas. Chad, please fix the sprite Atlas for. I'll just do this. I'll create an issue to cover that. So let's commit that. Let's do a quick sync. Let's go back to our GitHub page. Let's check off the Paralyzed Wand Explosion Arc. So I can live with that. Let's go back here to our issues page. Let's create a new issue. So it looks like particles do not particles from cache pools do not set Atlas correctly. And this is assigned to Chad. This is a bug. This should be, say, January. Yeah, cool. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the you checking out my stream. When we acquire particles from cache pools. Don't honor their current Atlas. I think that gets set when they are newed up. And cool. Created a bug, so we won't forget about that. And lastly, let's see if we can fix up this fire animation and then call it good, and then hopefully the update should be good to go. So Chad says a workaround for now to set the particle to dirty after changing the sprite atlas. So let me see if that works. So let's go to explosion.java. Let's go here and let's get the particle from a cache pool. And can I say something like p dot dirty is dynamic dirt p dot set dirt. What property do you want, Chad? So particle is a sprite. Let's look at the sprite. Sprite is an entity. Is it drawable? Does drawable have a dirty? Yeah, so I have to get the particles drawable and set that to dirty, I think. I think that might be the right way to do it. So particle.drawable.is was that a private? It's a protected transient boolean. Yeah, cool. Yep, just found it. See, I did it for the burning effect. So let's look at where do the effects live? My brain is not working right now. Status effects, burning. So burning is there's a status effect. There's a do tick, fire offset, fire particle, cache pulls get particle. So maybe it's a fire. Let me look at this fire object. Update drawable. Okay. I don't see. So drawable transient boolean. So it's a protected boolean. So Chad, what would be a better way than making this a public property? I mean, I could just. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just leave it right now. I'll just leave it as newing up a particle, and then you can do a proper fix. I have the issue out there in the GitHub issues, so yeah. I think this is okay for now because it only creates one new particle per explosion. That doesn't happen super often. Oh, drawable.refresh? Is there? Of course. How did I not see that? Okay. Yeah, so particle here, explosion. So pull this from cache pool, p.refresh, drawable.refresh, and then let's just verify this fix works. Thank you. I'm sure this will be fine. Push that there. Wands, fire. Whoa! Crash. What happened? Null pointer exception. So let's just do a if p.drawable, and this is not equal to null. Let's refresh this darn thing. Actually, I have another instance of Delver running, so let me stop all this craziness. Yep. Cool. Yep, that seems to have done it. Okay, that's a fine that is a fine thing to do. Yep. So let's just let's commit that change real quick. Um, Workaround for particle dash pool particle atlas issue. Commit and sync. Cool. So let's also I'm just gonna make a quick note of this. So let's go back to our. So this is our issue. Let's look at the code. Let's look at commits. Let's just grab this last commit. And let's just say there is a workaround checked in with, and that should give the link there. Cool. So that way, if Chad wants to go back in and clean that up, you can. If not, I don't think calling the refresh is, there's no issue with that. Okay, so I am getting short on time here. I'm going to keep it down to just about 1 hour since I do have family upstairs that I do want to visit with. So let's say 15 minutes I'm going to go. So if there's anything you want to see me do, or if there's anything you would like, or any questions you have, please fire them away now. Otherwise, I am going to actually I'll just play a little bit of Delver and talk about some of the changes as I see them. Cool. Let me see if I can try to get this roughly sized correctly also. Okay. Ooh, I'm starting off with a fire wand. This should be either a very interesting run or a very short run. Okay, so starting area, I got a couple crates to bash. That's cool. Oh, I don't want broken pants, even though they are good magic pants. A little window area there with a mage in there. Any spikes. I got hit. Crap. Okay, let's quit messing around. This long hallway was pretty tough. Yeah, so here's I got a fine short bow of paralyze, which we definitely need to tweak the paralyze stuff before they go out. Otherwise, I can permanently hit stun folks. So either we need to remove the paralyzed status effect, or we need to. Whoa! I was just at 1 health and I got a level up, so that's very fortuitous. Gold. Okay, my little fire wand's just out of juice. There we go. That's a way to take care of the enemy, I guess. Just blow down the door and him with it. You gotta love splash damage, right? That's a decent way to use it. I wish I had arrows to actually be able to use my bow. Let me just get past. Yep, another bow. Yeah, no, it's not good. Have a potion. Let me drink it. Iron skin, kind of helpful. I'm going to eat my steak. Oh yeah, there's a new torch sprite for folks who have noticed. Yeah, I fancied it up a bit. It's just kind of a combination of the new temple one, but with a little bit of a little flare thrown on top of it. Himban says, "Did he hit me through the door?" I think enemies will hit you through the door if you're right up against the door. What happened there? Chad, I thought you said you fixed the bats. I think I have a bat in the ceiling geometry or something killing me. So Sinocron says this is a pretty sick game. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah. You know, sometimes when you're working on a project for as long as we have, you lose objectivity, right? Like this becomes your baby, and this is something that, I mean, I don't know. Like it's hard to stay objective about. Like for me personally, whenever I look at the game, I just see a big list of things that I need to fix, which is kind of sad to say because we've come a very, very long ways, you know, during the course of this project. I'm very happy with, you know, what we've created. It's just, I don't know, like I'm super critical of my own work. Okay. All right. So I think this is. Yeah, Chad, it might have been a floor or ceiling bat. I didn't stick around. It was going to kill me. Let me see. Can I get back? I think it was right in here. Let me see if I can go find it again. Pretty sure I can track it down. You know, I try to stay away from gore, to be honest with you. I like to keep this the art style pretty light, just because, I mean, I don't know, like I'm tired of like dark and gritty games. Like, I mean, they're cool, but you know, it is nice to have some variety. Yes, he was over here somewhere. Yep, there's something. I just can't quite see. Yep, there we go. Yeah, it was a floor bat. I got him. Yeah. Yep. Or, I mean, our game sort of has guns in it, in the fact that the wands are basically stand-ins for standard FPS weapons. Like you have the rocket launcher with the fire wand. You have the lightning gun, or the rail gun with the lightning wand. We have a magic missile wand, which is basically like a machine gun. Oh, and I finally got my bow. So you know, the bow is obviously. Well, this is a poison bow too. So, or paralyzed bow. Excuse me. I guess I must need to fix the paralyzed color because it was shooting black and it should shoot yellow. Yeah, let me take a quick peek at that and then I'll call it a day because I am basically out of time, unfortunately, folks. Sorry, I got started late today and it's running. It's going to be a quick one because I am visiting family. But I wanted to take an hour of my day just to hang out with you folks and talk about the progress we made this week, because we both have been really cranking away this week. We've got a lot of good progress made. So if I look at, I think it's in game.colors. Paralyzed is black, which is not correct. Paralyzed should be that yellowish color. Should be the same thing for the paralyzed wand. And if I lift its spell color, that should be roughly the right color. Explosion. Let's just say it's this one. I think it's the start color is the correct. So let's go to colors.java, and for paralyze, it is a new color. That is that. And let's clean up this a little bit since I pasted from JSON. Okay, let's save our changes. It's complaining because colors in libgdx are a quadruple, so I need to add the alpha component. then let's take a look at my paralyzed bow and see if it renders correctly. Ah! Ah! And that one broke, which is cool. Let me see. There we go. Yeah, that's... Yep. So we've got a paralyzed bow with the correct color effect, which is really nice. Has a correct color light. Yeah, very cool. Nice. Okay. So let me check that in real quick, and then we'll call it a day. Damien End, hey, thank you for stopping by. Sorry, you're catching me right at the tail end of my stream. So changes. Still not done with this particle effect. I need to tie that off. So I think once I get this this thing cleaned up, I will check it in, and then I'll give Chad the green light to go ahead and get the next update out. But I am currently visiting family, and I won't be able to probably work on this not until maybe mid next week. Today is mid this week. Sorry. Yeah, losing track of time. Yeah, again, Chris notes that the paralyzed weapons are probably super powerful, and yeah, they are probably over powerful. What I probably can do is just crank down the default paralyzed time, and then maybe up it up for this paralyzed wand, because I want the paralyzed wand to be powerful, but because you have a limited number of shots, it's okay. Or just remove the paralyzed effect off of weapons entirely. Updated paralyze effect color. Commit and sync. Okay, so we did have a short stream today, but I think it was a fairly productive one. Got a few things checked in, tweaking little things here and there, trying to get it up to snuff for release for you folks. So today was my regular Sunday stream. I try to be really, really good about streaming every single Sunday, and I usually try to do it at noon Pacific, but today was a little off. I also try to do bonus streams, time permitting, and those kind of just happen at random whenever, to be honest, when my son is asleep and have some free time in the evening. So those happen occasionally. So if you want to know about those, you can follow me here on Twitch, or you can follow me on Twitter at Joshua Skelly. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always just reach out to me directly. You can email me, joshua.skeldon@gmail.com. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for the folks who have bought the game. Thank you for everyone who shows up to hang out with me while I work. And I will see you next Sunday, if not sooner. Bye.